Hi, my name is Kevin, and I collect old irons. We are at the 2021 PICA meeting. The meeting itself is tomorrow and the day after. Today is an auction, and this is a big auction. This is the major iron collection in the United States. Buck Carson, who has more than 5,000 irons altogether, 500 of them are here. There'll be a series of auctions over the next several years, just as there were with the Dave Irons auctions up to this point. And the irons around here are fabulous. There are irons that will go for circa $100, and there are irons that will go for perhaps the tens of thousands of dollars. The emphasis is on European irons particularly. Of course, I'm more of an American collector, but I'll be here trying to pull down what I can amongst many others here, and there'll be people who are bidding online from around the world. So let's just eavesdrop in and see how this works.
Hey, there's a nice liquid fuel iron, give me $500 for that. Look at that little beauty. 300 I have it now, 325. 300 I have it now, 325. 325, 350, 375, $400, 425, 425, 450, 450, 475, and now 500 here now, 550, 550 to 550, 550, $600, $600, here you go to 650, 650 to 650 to 650, now $700, $700, $700, there you go, now 750 to 750 to 750 to 750, now $800, 800 in the back, you want to go 800 now, 850, 850, 800 is good, 850, I have 800 way in the back, 850. $900, 950, 950 to 950 to 950 at $900 to 950 at 900 way back to 950 to 950 to 950 to 950 at 900 950 $1,000 $1,100 $1,100 big go 11 go 11 go 11 $1,000 big go $1,100. Are we all done? At 1,000 way back go $1,100. Yep. I have 11, 12, 12 now 13. 13, why not? 13, 1,200 out of it, 13, 14, out of 14, out of 14, now 15, 15, out of 15, 14, out of back, go 1,500, everybody goes 1,500, out of 1,500. Sold $1,400, 126. 25, 350, 350, 375, and now $400 bid, 425, 425, and now 450, now 475, and now $500, now 550, now $600, now 650, 650 is $600 bid, and 650 is $600 bid, and 650, I have 600 right there, to 650, and 650. Sold 600, 114. 50, I have it now, $60 big, $60 now, $70 big, $70 big, $70 big, $70, $80 big, $90, up to $90 now, $100, 100 now, 110, 120, up to 120, 130, 140, 140, 150, 160 to 160, 170, 180, 180, 200 now, 225, 250, 250, 275, and now 300 now, 325, and now 350, now 375, and now $400, now 425, 450, 450 to 450. To 450 to 450. I have 425 right there to 450. Sold 425, fire number 114. Lock number 73, another Fluting there, give me $50. 50 to that little beauty, come on, 50. I have 25 to $30. 30 out of 30. $1,000, now $1,100. $1,100 bid, go 11, go 11, go 11, $1,000 bid, go $1,100. Where? 1,000.
So what did I buy? Let's first of all talk about the way I prepare and the way that I sort of prioritize the things that I'm going to bid on and ultimately get. Those that I get seem to come in three basic groups. There are the high wants, the things I am there to buy if I possibly can, and oftentimes I'm willing to pay extra for because there's something that will fit the needs of my collection. And the second category is the also wants, things that are not so badly desired, but by golly, if the price is right, if I don't get a couple of high ones and I have some money available, these are what I would go for. And the third category is opportunities. These are things that I might be just watching, just in case the price is right, just in case I have some money. Some of these are things late in the auction where I might still have some money and the prices have gone down, and here's something that comes up, and it might not even be on my list, but you know, just a inspiration item, push the button, and there we got. And sometimes I'm really happy at what I got, and sometimes I wonder exactly why I did that. Let's take a look at some of the irons I got in each of these three categories. And we'll start with this iron right here. This is a Pacific Peerless, made in San Francisco, has some markings on the back, patent pending, has 3 prongs, which means it can stand on its back, and it is a liquid fuel iron, and quite a mystery. It has some mica windows on the top, so you can presumably see that the fire is on within the iron. Exactly how you get into the iron, exactly how the iron operates, I don't know. I was asking a couple of people before the auction that had these, and they're, it's just a mystery piece. But it was something I wanted. I'm now working on the early liquid fuel irons, so I wanted it, and I paid pretty good money for it. If you want to see the prices of anything in the auction again, you can look at the Hartzell auction. But the second iron I had to show you is a bit of a lesser iron, but something I particularly wanted. And let me tell you the story here. When my wife Kate and I came up to New England, one of the things we visited was the Shelburne Museum in Vermont. And I say this to give high recommendations to this museum. It's a museum that was built by a collector in the 1930s. She had a lot of money. Her friends were, buying exotic paintings and everything else, but she liked Americana. And the Americana was still there and readily available. It was during the Depression times. She bought whole houses and covered bridges and steamboats and all kinds of stuff and brought them over there to Shelburne, Vermont, and set up this big museum. And there's a foundation that maintains this museum. And if you like the old stuff in general, want to see as a lot of old stuff as you can, this is a place to go. When we went there, there was an iron collection. There was a collection of everything, but there was an iron collection of 80 or 100 pieces, something a little bit larger than my collection at that time. My collection has, of course, since grown, but most of the irons I had some familiarity with. And then there was this one. This iron has an egg-shaped bottom with a handle on it, and I looked at this and said, this is the strangest thing, I want one. And that was more than 30 years ago. And for 30 years, I've been waiting for one of these to come up. I've never seen one in an auction, on eBay, anywhere. And this particular auction had one with the original trivet. Now, this is a polishing iron. Polishing irons don't usually go for that much, and I was hoping I could get that for $200 or $300. But there was a number of people that liked this the way I did, I think, and I had to bid up to $600 to take this home. Bit more money than I would have wanted to spend, but it's something that I wanted. While we're on polishing irons, I bought another polishing iron. Polishing irons are not a group that's very widely collected, but this one's unusual. It does have some markings on the trivet, and it says GNB Manufacturing Company. That's all that I have of this. I've never seen one like it. There are no photos of one of these that I know in any of the books. It's quite unusual, and I got it for $100. So these are 3 irons that I had a particular interest in and got. There were many other irons that I wanted sometimes quite badly and didn't get. And then I bought 4 fluters. All 4 of these are upgrades, improving on things that I already have in my collection. There were a number of very good fluters at this auction, and I had aspirations to bring down a couple, 2 or 3 of them, but I didn't. So these are the fluters that I have. This is a Streeter fluter. We've seen the previous example, which I've now passed on to another collector, has a slug in it, and it has the detachable. So again, this can attach into here or can attach here to make a fluter out of this. This is a combination and quite a desired iron from the late 1870s. This is a hand iron with a wooden board fluting device. I actually have a couple of these, and if anybody wants one, let me know. I did not have the plate, and So I bought both the hand iron and the plate for $140. Very good price. These things were going for $600 and $800 not that long ago. I thought I was very lucky on that one. And here is a Manville fluter from 1869. These were made in Waterbury, Connecticut. I have a couple of these, including one very much as this one is, but this one's got something special about it. This one is brass plated. It's not entirely made of brass. There is some magnetism to it, but it is got a covering of brass, probably used as a storefront display. Very pretty, $375. I thought I got a good deal on that. This is a upgrade of an iron I actually got at the last auction. The one at the last auction had the markings not too bright, and I was also missing this little piece right here. This came up for $100, and I decided if it would be that low, ordinarily worth more than that, that I would pick this up, which means, by the way, that I have another one of these I can release to somebody else. So these are the 4 fluting irons. And let's look at 2 more items. Both of these are European. Again, the auction had a lot of European items. This is a very typical German flat iron, nothing special. These are quite common. Probably could find these for $20 or $30. You see them on eBay all the time. But this one has the trivet, an exotic, unusual trivet. It is the trivet that goes with things. It fits very well. The trivet itself has these unusual, I don't know if those are dogs. They look like the dogs, actually. Maybe lions' heads supporting this. Very unusual, and I decided I did want to get one good iron with a trivet. There were a couple, 3 that I was looking at. This was very late in the auction. Cost me $200 or so, but I was happy to have that. And then this is a very ordinary iron. Just a small ox tongue slug iron. Slug is in there. Very nice. $100. And the reason I bought it was that I had previously picked this very nice trivet with claw feet on it, and I wanted an iron that would fit that, and this fits that pretty well. And then there were the opportunities, things that I really wasn't thinking or planning to buy, but here they are. And I have 2 to show you right here. Both of them are gadgety golfer irons, and I don't even collect golfers that much, but I do like gadgety things, and the prices for these were quite good, I thought. This is a natural gas golfer iron. Here's the slug. There are also some extra slugs that you can somehow attach to this. So it's almost like a Bunsen burner, if you will. Whether it was used for fabric, as I suspect it might have been used for something else, it has an industrial appearance to it. There were 2 of these at the auction. The first one went for several $100s, and then this one, which has a wood base, went for $100. It was at $100, and I thought I'd put a bid in there, and that was the winning bid. and then there's this thing. This is a golfing device. Again, it's electric. It's from France. Do not know exactly how it works. It has a Mary figure in the front, which suggests that maybe this was something used for nuns' habits or something like that. Very odd. I do like gadgety things. This was late in the auction, going way below expectations, and so I decided to put in a couple of bids and got it for very inexpensively. I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know where I'm going to put it. This is a Kate saying, why did you buy that? And I'm not sure myself, except that it's very interesting. And this is a real impulse item. It is quite heavy. It's a big piece of metal. Again, from France. It has the fleur-de-lis here, and it's got a French iron here. This is absolutely impulse. Kate suggests that I show this as a warning to others. Keep your focus. This was very late in the auction. These kinds of things usually go for fairly significant amounts of money. This was looking for a bidder at $100, and I said, well, I'll just get this started. And here it is in my dining room. We'll find a place for this. I have no idea where. It's too heavy to hang on a wall. Maybe if we build a foundation in some back building as time goes by or something like that, here it is. And finally, at the PICA meeting itself, it's an opportunity to swap and trade with other collectors who bring some things in. And I bought a few minor pieces, all of these for very little money, individually from other collectors. Let's just show some of these as a review and add on to some of the things we've talked about in previous videos. This is a detachable handle flat iron. The handle just simply slides out of a groove on the top of the iron. I had one of these before. I bought a couple this meeting. This one's just particularly unusual and very interesting handle. I'm very glad to have this. This is an unusual detachable handle sleeve iron with a peculiar kind of attaching mechanism. You see this in some smaller, what I think are traveler irons, and 1893 patent. I've never seen one of these in a sleeve iron and was happy to get that and add that to my collection of sleeve irons. This is something that I bought in company with another collector prior to the auction, and he brought this to me, delivered to me, so it wasn't part of PICA itself, except I took possession of it there. It's a small English coal iron with some nice markings on it. This is, we talked about the wooden hat irons. I usually don't pick these up, but this is a bit unusual, so here it is. And then a little hand fluter. This one is nice. It has a 1883 patent markings on the bottom. It also has an interesting lip here, and the lip here is used as a lifter here as well. Let's see now. Here we are. And I actually had one of the tops of these without the base, and I've been looking for a base for years and years, and there was the top and base unit available, and there we are. If anybody, by the way, has this bottom, it's the R. Young from Geneva, Ohio, May 29th, 1883. If you have the base but don't have the top, send me an email and I'll send this to you. And there we have it. I did not get as much of the higher end stuff as I wanted, but I did find some good stuff. I still have some money in my account for the next auction, which won't be but for another few months, and I'll be ready for it. Thank you very much.